The family of a pupil stabbed to death at the Forest High School here in Johannesburg is pleading for government intervention. This is after 19-year-old Mohammed Moela was granted bail in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court this morning. He's facing 1 count of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. We'll begin our coverage with ENCA's Linda Kulu, who is following the story. So, Linda, the family predictably not happy about bail being granted. What have they said to you today?
Well, certainly not happy, Jeremy, outside court. In fact, after the judgment that the 19-year-old pupil from Forest High School will be granted bail of about 5,000 rand. And of course, that accompanied by some conditions as to the fact that he has to report to a police station every Monday and that he must not set foot in Terfontein as well as in the school there, the Forest High School. But certainly the family outside there was just screaming, lots of the family members and community members just crying and saying that this is not justice. They want justice, and they did not want, in fact, Mohammed Moela to be out on bail. And if we can just take a listen to some of the ambience coming out of court as that case was concluded, the fact that they gave Mohammed Moela the bail, they granted him bail.
Also want to ask why she give this boy the bail, because she put 2 people killed, there is 3. This one died. 2 chefs they play. Now you give her bail. Maybe let them to go out, can kill again these 2 left, Papa. Why you give her the bail? Maybe the kid is not bearing. You give her bail for what? Why she can continue to kill? Hey, Papa, my heart is painful.
So deep anger outside the city's magistrates court. Linda, let's talk about the deceased now, and you'll tell me that he had a criminal record.
Well, certainly, Jeremy. In fact, it was quite shocking that we had this just outside after that case concluded, after the bail application there was granted. But what the National Prosecuting Authority spokesperson said was that, in fact, they do now have it in good faith that the deceased, who is the victim who was killed during the altercation between Moela and 3 other people, was, in fact, attending court. He has a pending case in that particular court. And what we know is that that's a case of armed robbery. So we really haven't had that in court. They haven't, deliberated upon that particular factor. But what the National Prosecuting Authority spokesperson said there was that they do now know that he had a previous, he was attending court, and they're going to now withdraw charges against him because he's now a deceased. But the charges were of armed robbery.
The magistrate also talking about inconsistencies as far as the investigation is concerned.
Well, he's speaking about inconsistencies from Thursday when it was the formal bail application. The affidavit, first and foremost, offered the applicant, which is Mohammed Moela, had one inconsistency, and that is of the date. They said that the stabbing happened on the 3rd of June instead of saying on the 31st of June instead of saying on the 31st of May. But he had to fix that by calling Moela to the stand and making him testify that, in fact, this took place at a certain date. But of course, coming to the investigating officer's affidavit, that one had inconsistencies because from the beginning, the magistrate said that he's going to adjourn and is going to move away from that particular matter because there was no signature on that affidavit, but more so saying that there are inconsistencies with the evidence. He did not come with evidence from the security on the gate. He did not go and further investigate as to the timetable, who was supposed to be at school and who wasn't supposed to be at school at that particular day, but saying that now he stands with 2 stories, the one of self-defense from the defense, and of course the other one claims that in fact Moela is the one that had the knife and attacked some of these children, some of these school pupils. But those are the cases. They said that they will go into detail too when the trial date is set, but we are expecting that we'll be going back to court on the 10th of June next month.
Linda Kulu, thank you. Now that's